Daily Meditation Series, Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 1, Verse 39. Kula kshaye pranashanti, kula dharma sanatana, dharme nashte kulon kritsnam, adharmo bibhavatyuta. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion. Commentary. From time immemorial, the oral tradition of education has enabled students to receive cultural awareness and, ideally, spiritual values. The original body of Vedic knowledge is known as the Vedas, which was divided into 4 parts by the author Srila Vyasadeva and disseminated among his many students for the sake of being broadcast to a larger audience. When this system of guru-disciple knowledge exchange is compromised, as in the current age, all sorts of sub-religion are introduced as culturally significant, and the original knowledge is practically lost. In Canto 10, Chapter 20 of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Vedic knowledge system has been analyzed, drawing various analogies from nature, as follows. Quote, during the rainy season, in the evening, there are many glowworms visible about the tops of trees, hither and thither, and they glitter just like lights. But the luminaries of the sky, the stars and the moon, are not visible. Similarly, in the age of Kali, persons who are atheists or miscreants become very prominently visible, whereas persons who are actually following the Vedic principles for spiritual emancipation are practically obscured. This age, Kali Yuga, is compared to the cloudy season of the living entities. In this age, real knowledge is covered by the influence of the material advancement of civilization. The cheap mental speculators, atheists, and manufacturers of so-called religious principles become prominent, like the glowworms, whereas persons strictly following the Vedic principles or scriptural injunctions become covered by the clouds of this age. People should learn to take advantage of the actual luminaries of the sky, the sun, moon, and stars, instead of the glowworm's light. Actually, the glowworms cannot give any light in the darkness of night. As clouds sometimes clear, even in the rainy season, and sometimes the moon, stars, and sun become visible, so even in this Kali Yuga, there are sometimes advantages. For example, sometimes Lord Chaitanya's Vedic movement of distributing the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is heard. People seriously eager to find real light should take advancement of this movement, instead of looking toward the light of mental speculators and atheists. After the first rainfall, when there is thundering sound in the clouds, all the frogs begin to croak, like students suddenly engaged in reading their studies. Students are generally supposed to rise early in the morning. They do not usually rise of their own accord, however, but only when there is a bell sounded in the temple or other spiritual institution. By the order of the spiritual master, they immediately rise, and after finishing their morning duties, they sit down to study the Vedas or chant Vedic mantras. Everyone is sleeping in the darkness of Kali Yuga, but when there is a great Acharya, by his calling only, everyone takes to the study of the Vedas to acquire actual knowledge. End quote. In this way, every sincere student of the Vedic wisdom is eager to disseminate its knowledge among the general mass of people.